Today, I wanted to talk about Jodie's regeneration, because I gave some vague thoughts in my reviews for Power of the Doctor, but since then, people have had very divided opinions on it. Some people very much in the camp that, it was really, really well done. Some people in the camp that it, was very rushed and just didn't really work well. Today, I thought I'd give my opinion. First of all, we've got to admit, this is a beautiful regeneration. In terms of, the visuals and how visually striking this regeneration is, obviously taking it away from the TARDIS, having the cliff top, some fantastic visual effects, I think as a regeneration itself, this is the most beautiful it's ever been. Visually, I just cannot give them enough props for how well they did it. Also, just generally, it's so refreshing that we got a regeneration outside the TARDIS. Not only is there the obvious logical points of why do we keep blowing up the TARDIS after every regeneration, but also it just works really well just to have something new and different visually. Not every time we have to regenerate in the TARDIS. It's gotten boring, and I'm glad we've worked out that maybe to make things more interesting, we should switch them up. I think another big thing to talk about is the speech. Initially, I felt it was a little short. I think with both of Moffat's regeneration writing, he's given us big, long speeches. So it felt very odd for the first time in ages to just have kind of 30 seconds of dialogue and then boom, it's happening. I've come to actually really like this. Not only because it's fresh and different and an approach we just haven't seen for a while, but also if you compare it to someone like Capaldi's regeneration, it just went on for years and felt very, very preachy in the way it did it. Even I love Matt Smith's regeneration, I think it really works, but there are even arguments that that was just a bit long, a bit preachy. I wouldn't change Matt Smith's regeneration for the world, it was perfect, I'm just saying. Having a regeneration that just kind of, we had some statements and then we got into it, did feel really refreshing. It also helps that the sentiments of this Doctor really work within this regeneration. Instead of having a regeneration that feels sad or depressing or mopey, just kind of a very enthusiastic take on it, just accepting and ready to move on. Those elements really did work for me, and I think most of all, makes it a regeneration that is unique, stands on its own, and will definitely be memorable. Now, what elements didn't work quite so well? I think for me, especially the build-up was too short. The analysis I've kind of come to is that the regeneration itself works really well. Would I have added maybe another 30 seconds to it? Maybe. But it does work well. What I would now say is that the build-up to the regeneration itself is the stuff that really doesn't work. And a lot of that is just down to timing. Having the incident that incites the regeneration happen about 10 minutes before the end, and then just very quickly getting through it, the regeneration itself within the episode feels like an afterthought. Also, the reason for regeneration was a little bit dull, and again, feels tacked on, and I wish more thought and care went into that. I don't want to turn this into a Power of the Doctor review, but I have said I feel like there are some elements in the first third you can maybe cut out, make half an hour, 25 minutes, and if you gave 5 more minutes to this ending, just with everything, even with the Yaz conversation, I just feel like everything just needed an extra 5 minutes just to, have some more to it. It's kind of a problem with that last 10-15 minutes, is that it all just happens so quickly, and I feel like that initially in my reviews reflected badly on the regeneration. Because like we've said, a lot of elements within the regeneration really works, but I just don't think the episode itself sets it up very well for that. Overall, would this regeneration rank pretty highly for me? I think it's probably the similar feelings I have to 9. I think 9's regeneration is good without being outstanding. I think 10 and 11's are for me really great, just because I really connect with 10's and I love 11's speech. And like I've alluded to, 12's didn't really work for me because it just felt so preachy. So overall, it's a regeneration that I'm not dissatisfied with. As I said, it isn't my least favourite regeneration of the modern era, and I think works really well. Would I have done some things to improve it? Yes. Do I think it still works? Yes. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. That would be lovely, because I make class Doctor Who content all of the time. If you want to see my opinions on the future of Doctor Who, all of the Shooty Gatwood, David Tennant, Disney Plus new logo shenanigans, click the video here. Because I talk about it all there, so you should click it.